Tekashi 6ix9ine's career has been full of unbelievable moments. The Gummo video that turned him from an unknown SoundCloud rapper into a national sensation. His beefs with seemingly untouchable figures like Jay Prince and Chief Keef. The multiple robberies and shootings. But the biggest shock of all was when he turned from hip-hop star to cooperating witness. In the process, Daniel Hernandez betrayed the gang members who helped him get to the top. He would ultimately testify against them, and they would end up with prison sentences ranging from 4.5 to 24 years. All the twists and turns in Tekashi's story, the biggest one came when he betrayed Shotti.
It's f***ing Treway. We the mob. You know the f***ing vibes out here, man. New York, man.
Kafano Shotti Jordan was often called Tekashi's manager, but he was a lot more than that. The longtime member of the 9 Trey Gangster Bloods was the rapper's friend, mentor, and protector. They had a straightforward relationship. Tekashi made money for himself and for Shotti's gang, and Shotti gave his artist street cred and protection. It was a job he took very seriously. We'll be looking at all the times Shotti put himself on the line for his rainbow-haired meal ticket. We'll start with the biggest incident, the one that got Shotti 10 of the 15 years of his prison sentence, and it all started with some shopping. It was April 21st, 2018. Tekashi, Shotti, former Basketball Wives star Phoebe Torres, and Tekashi's driver, George Rivera, were out in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. It was about 5 p.m. They were getting ready for a big event later that night. Tekashi would be appearing at the Barclays Center Arena. He'd be walking boxer Adrian Broner to the ring in his fight against Jesse Vargas. And Tekashi, then one of the hardest in the game, needed to look right. Time to do some shopping. The crew's first stop was the bank. Then they went to a clothing store. Tekashi grabbed a pair of sneakers and some sports jerseys and took a picture with a fan. They headed into a Spanish restaurant to get some food. They left about 15 minutes later. And that's when the trouble started. As Tekashi, Shotti, and Phoebe were headed to George and the SUV, they saw 2 guys sitting in the car waiting for them. One of the guys pulled out his phone and started recording. The guys started insulting 6ix9ine, cursing at him, making fun of him, calling him a pussy. Shotti, as 6ix9ine's protector, can't let this happen. His artist being mocked meant that he was being mocked. No way. So Shotti responds the best way he knows how. He pulls out his gun, reaches into the guy's car, and pistol whips the man who's recording. The 2 men are stunned, but then get angry. They start yelling for 6ix9ine and Shotti to meet them at a nearby intersection so they can settle this once and for all. 6ix9ine and Shotti's SUV drives away. George just wants to get out of there. He turns the next corner, running a red light in the process. But the guys in the car follow them, and now there's a big problem. 6ix9ine's car is blocked by a huge garbage truck. They can't get any further, and the guys from outside the clothing store are getting closer every second. Shotti gets out of the car and runs towards the guys who are chasing after them. He stops, kneels down, and lets off 2 shots. The guys throw the car into a reverse and peel away. The garbage truck workers eventually figure out that something crazy is going on and get out of the way. 6ix9ine and Shotti drive off. No one was injured during this whole thing. No one was arrested. 6ix9ine made it to Barclays, but this was the crime that eventually would land Shotti in the biggest trouble of his life. See, the problem with letting a gun off during early evening in the middle of Brooklyn is that there are surveillance cameras everywhere. The whole thing was caught on video. When the feds finally busted 9 Trey that November, they had Shotti dead to rights. Between the surveillance video and testimony from both 6ix9ine and George, there was no way out. This incident alone got Shotti 10 years in prison. He got another 5 for a different crime, but we'll leave that for another video. This shooting was typical of the ways that Shotti would defend 6ix9ine during their time together. Shotti knew that 6ix9ine was his and his gang's meal ticket. He knew that the street cred Tekashi got from having the gang behind him was key to the rapper's image. So there was no way that Shotti or anyone in 9 Trey would allow their star to be disrespected. In fact, that very same dynamic would pop up later that day. In Barclays, just hours after the shooting I've been telling you about, Tekashi ran into trouble again. While getting ready for the fight, he and the 9 Trey guys, including Shotti, were walking through the bowls of the arena. All of a sudden, Casanova and his crew, who Tekashi had been beefing with, ran at them. 9 Trey was outnumbered. Shotti knew what needed to be done. He told another 9 Trey member, Fu Banga, to pull out his gun. Fu Banga fired in the air, and Cass's crew dispersed. The gang had done its work. Now it was time for Tekashi to do his, to use the gang's violence to increase his own fame. Right outside the Barclays Center, the rapper went live on IG and bragged about what had just happened.
Fuck boy, don't run. Where you going? Stupid. Yo, his whole squad hit the floor. His whole squad hit the floor, you heard?
What? Everybody?
Shotti knew exactly what he was doing the whole time. He was well aware that his job was to protect his star. And how well his star was protected was how well his gang was respected. In July of 2018, just days after Tekashi was kidnapped, Shotti sat him down for a big talk, one that was secretly recorded by George and given to the government. Shotti told 6ix9ine, everything they equate you with, they equate me with.
I don't care about no bread. Nigga, I'm for you.
This is AGTV.
But you gotta be for me in the same way. We gonna whack niggas. Niggas took your chain, they took my jewelry too, nigga. Fuck you think, nigga? That's my shines too. Everything they equate you with, they equate me with, bro. But we gotta move Millie, bro. That's how they caught you, nigga. They caught you because you like it, nigga. They ain't catch you because we move how we supposed to move. They caught you because you in the neighborhood, right? They caught you because you getting that 5 in the morning moving with this nigga, boy. And this nigga ain't moving how he's supposed to move, right?
He knew that his reputation was on the line with every move 6ix9ine made. And since his moves were so outrageous, that reputation would need a lot of defending, even from the random guys on the street. Next, we'll get into the wild world of the lesser-known cooperator in the 9 Trey case, Christian Cruz, aka CEO Chris, a brilliant drug dealer who revealed everything about the gang's fentanyl and heroin operation. He escaped with his freedom, only to get in trouble again with the law.